Now, the man accused of torching parts of Parliament will appear in the Western Cape High Court today. That court is expected to receive feedback on Zandile Mafe's psychological observations.
Now, the matter was previously postponed so that the NPA could conclude logistics around his hospital assessments in the Eastern Cape. Mafe is facing several charges, including arson and housebreaking with intent to commit terrorism. He allegedly started a fire that gutted parts of the National Assembly chambers. That was in January last year. So Newzroom Afrika's Nasiphi is following that story. She joins us live ahead of that appearance outside court. Nasiphi, so the arson happened in January of last year, so it's been a year and about 3 months now since that happened. There have been several delays. Talk us through part of those delays insofar as Zandile Mafe's hospital assessments are concerned.
Quite a long delay, Michelle. I mean, this happened on the 2nd of January, and at the center of the numerous delays that we've seen is in regards to that psychiatric evaluation that was conducted just after he was arrested on the 2nd of January. His defense team arguing last year, for better part of last year actually, that due process was not followed. However, the last appearance at the Western Cape High Court, both the defense and the state agreed that Mafe, or Zandile Mafe, has to go will undergo psychiatric evaluation, and taking into account the long list at the Valkenburg Hospital in the Western Cape, which is quite specialized, and the fact that Mafe did not want to go back to Valkenburg, taking into account his previous experience from last year. It was then, he was then transported to the Eastern Cape, and basically we are anticipating that report in the pre-trial conference, and basically for the state, including the defense, to basically have their ducks in a row in terms of documents that will be or might be required for trial purposes. And we do understand that even his defense have said that perhaps now it's just time to go ahead full steam in regards to the trial, as we do know that Zandile Mafe has been in custody since the 2nd of January of last year. So up until now, he has remained behind bars, as you mentioned, facing those charges of housebreaking, including, charges of terrorism.
Nasiphi, the hospital assessments, what do they entail?
So initially, at his first court appearance, following the medical evaluation or psychiatric evaluation at Valkenburg, which was then later, put aside by the Western Cape High Court, it was found that he was, they diagnosed him with paranoid schizophrenia. However, Mafe then dispelled that and said he has no challenges. All he has, or rather the challenges that he has, is a speech impediment. But now, from his defense this year, them indicating that they would actually like to take Mr. Mafe on a psychiatric evaluation. However, we can now obviously say that both the defense and the state have agreed on this, that it is indeed something that might just be required ahead of trial.
So the court is expected today to receive that feedback on those psychological observations. And then when does the trial actually get underway?
So we are anticipating that court will be receiving those documents, as it was transported to the Eastern Cape about 2 weeks ago for that psychiatric evaluation, also taking into account the long waiting list at Valkenburg Hospital. So we can expect that, and usually with pre-trial conferences is usually for the state, including the defense, to have their documents and logistics in place ahead of trial so that it is smooth sailing during trial. So at this present moment, we are unsure when exactly the trial date will be, but we are anticipating, hopefully, today we might just have an indication that perhaps maybe trial could resume this year. But I suppose the medical evaluation or the psychiatric evaluation might also be able to determine whether or not the trial date will commence soon or perhaps even next year.
Nasiphi Same live to us there outside the High Court in the Western Cape. Thanks very much indeed for that update.